tuned in to the National Intel Report, the Real Talk Radio Show.
All right, we're back. Anthony, we still have you, right?
Yes, you do. In fact, I wanted to tell you a little story, which Chappie probably knows. When we first put out the Illuminati CFR records, the American Opinion stores were playing them, buying them all over the country. And I had originally thought if I could just sell 1,000 sets, this story would not be squashed and eliminated and be gone with the wind. And I met with a fellow named Gary Allen, his secretary, Evelyn Davis, and John Steinbacher at the Copper Kettle, I think it was, at Gower and Sunset. And he said, Hilder, you're screwing this whole thing up. There is no this Illuminati, this is all a bunch of crap, and I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong, and so he started to do an article. When he started to do the investigation in proving me wrong, he discovered that I was right. And he did an article called The Establishment CFR. I had an actor friend of mine, John Carradine, record it. I asked him I said, can I use this? And he said, yes, go ahead. John Carradine did it. That is the father of David Carradine, who's also doing some of the pictures with Damien. And from that came a book called None Dare Call It Conspiracy. That's how it came about. That was the original research. Joe Ludwig, who was the secretary to Joe Schell, who was the campaign manager for Barry Goldwater in '64, and Bob Chapman was right there on the scene at the beginning of this and is responsible for getting a lot of this information out to a lot of people in the financial field. It's amazing that we all worked together and we spread out from, G. Edward Griffin. I was with him. In fact, we're editing right now in the other room here a 4-hour shoot with Ed Griffin, which we did this last week. And his book is now flying out the door. That's the Jekyll Island book. And there is a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde, and we brought in that particular connection. He is selling about 5,000 a month. It needs to be 50,000 a month. So we're making a film on the Federal Reserve called They Want It All. And in that film is Damien Chapa, there's Jim Mars, and of course Griffin, and all of the major players, but there's one that I don't have and I would like to get, and his name is Bob Chapman. Maybe we can get you on film, Bob. Is he still there?
You're going to have to go in the deepest, darkest part of the jungle.
Well,
on the other hand, Chappie, he knows where I am.
Well, maybe.
Well, I did see you up in the tree this morning. Maybe it's time for you to get on film.
What did you say, Bob?
I said I did see you up in the tree this morning.
You know, gentlemen, there is a certain amount of synergy, and it is ebbed and flowed. It is flowed rapidly and then been pinched off. But the remarkable thing about this, the ground-shaking stuff that you and Anthony have done, the things that I've been able to do on a limited budget, by the grace of God, we're still all here. We're all still living and breathing. We all got vertical today. We all stood up, and we're doing it for another day. And I'm looking forward to today, gentlemen, to the day that it becomes kind of a payoff and a vindication for all of what we've done for, you guys have been at it longer than I have. When you two were palling around putting up posters out in L.A., I was 11 years old, but each successive generation is starting to pick up on this, and we have something to build on. And it's important that we don't let it go, because I don't think you'll disagree with this statement. If we, meaning this generation, and it's fallen on our shoulders, this responsibility has fallen on us. If we do not get this done, they get their way. And I want to get your take, gentlemen. We're hearing the rumors out of Europe. The EU might bust up. They're starting to talk protectionism. They're not so hot on the trade. That's starting to affect them adversely. The protests are going on worldwide about the banksters, the International Bank of the Settlements. It doesn't matter, IMF. It's all the same crew. There seems to be a backlash, a blowback against their world domination and global control through their banking system.
There's no question about it. When I originally coined the word banksters, and I put it out in a paper called The Probe, the People's Revolt Against the Banking Establishment. I was putting them out in the park in San Francisco, Golden Gate Park, and I remember one woman from a group called the Communist Party came over and she said, "You're doing such a wonderful job, young man," and she gave me a contribution of $2. And that is one that I will never ever forget. And the word bankster is now around the world, as is the word sheeple, because that's what they are dealing with. Sheeple, the people who follow. And it's time for us to lead. And I notice my phone is starting to tap here. I should be out and gone in a moment. Okay. But I would like to give my phone number at the website. So if somebody wanted to reach me, they could. They will have to ask the webmaster to give me your number. He is at 928-227-6760. That's 928-227-0760. It's Free World Alliance or Free World Filmworks, and we are in the process of making another Obama film, which I said is the Obama, not simply the Abomination, but Obama, the Bankster's Boy, and of course the one on the Fed is called They Own It All. Bobby, listen, continue, take the baton. God bless you, brother, and I hope you get my number from John, and we can
I
touch
have your
base.
number.
You
Okay.
do have it? Okay, great. All right.
My problem is I do 20 hours a week, and I write, and I don't have time to do anything else.
Well, give me a damn call.
I will.
All right. Tony, thanks. I appreciate
Okay.
it. Anthony J. Hilder, folks, in the battle for a number of years, and, well, inspired me through his work, and I didn't even know it. It wasn't until years later, Bob, that I found out who Anthony was, got to meet him several times and talk with him. Quite a character.
Yeah, we did things that nobody else would do. We had people's hair on end in California for years. We swayed elections. We got people defeated, people elected. We worked very, very hard. And Tony was forever raising money. The Carradines were very helpful. I didn't know them myself, but Tony knew them very well, and he did the Illuminati record, which Myron Fagan financed, and his son Bruce, who went on for years afterwards. I haven't seen Bruce for years. But, the 4 or 5 people who were left out of that whole group who survived, they're not going to stop us. We're going to keep on doing what we're doing until we either win or we die.
Well, death befalls all of us. It's something that we can't get away from, that's for sure. But the legacy that people like yourselves, Bob, that you've passed down, I guess you could say that I was the generation after you. I think you're old enough, and I think I'm young enough.
Yes, my son.
and it's now as I don't know if you heard any of the interview that I did with Damian Chapa, but here's a guy that is talking about the New World Order, and he says, it's becoming a little bit trendy now in Hollywood to talk about the NWO. And I'm thinking to myself, gee, that's kind of nice. But as he said, and as Tony said, the time is done for talking. Put away the fears. This is the one psychological barrier, I think, Bob, that is holding a lot of people back. It is the psyops that the illuminated ones have been running on us for so long. And it's time to break free of those chains so we can really set things to right.